So you are thinking about moving from California to Denver, Colorado, and I'm doing some research to see if that is a good idea or not. Well, I can't answer that question for you, but what I can do is share what made me, a lifelong Californian, born and raised, move from California to Denver, Colorado, share the things that I was looking for, and just talk about what I found here, and if I got the things I was looking for out of my move here, because I had some very specific things I was looking for that I'm gonna dive into here. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Torrey Drake. I'm a local Denver realtor, and one of my biggest strengths as a realtor, I feel like there's so many people moving here, is I did the homework and research you're probably doing right now. It's a little windy, forgive me. It'll die down in a moment, I'm sure. I read the articles you're reading about the communities. I watched the videos. I formed some opinions, concerns, and hopes, and then I got here, got boots on the ground, and then learned through both just living here and my job literally being to know and learn and know everything about the city that I can, what I agree with, what I disagree with, what I think is outdated, what I think is relevant. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns about your move to Denver, whether you're thinking about buying a home or not, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to chat with you. While yes, I've helped a lot of you guys already buy and sell homes in Denver, which is awesome, who I've met on YouTube. I've also helped quite a few of you just talk, ask questions about communities and whatnot. So yeah, more than happy to answer any questions you have, regardless of whether you're thinking about buying or not. And my move here, I knew what I was looking for out of my move to Denver. I'm gonna share, I'm just gonna talk about through those things and if I found them and whatnot and all that good stuff. Hopefully, you know, if any of you guys are thinking about moving to Denver and looking for some of the same things, hopefully you'll find this helpful. Okay, one of the first things I was looking for was friendlier people. Forgive me, Angelinos. I loved being in LA. I'm not an LA hater. I really enjoyed it. However, when I visited Denver for the first time, that was my second time visiting a major city, or being in a major city, because I had been in LA. So Denver, I could not believe how nice people were here, how inviting people were here, just visiting here. Everyone, just the energy was like, oh, we love Denver, we love Colorado. In LA, people don't really like LA, which is a bummer. I even liked it when I was there. But it's really cool to be in a city where people are proud of their city. They love the nature, they use the city, they're excited about it. And just overall, there's much more polite, friendly atmosphere. It's not quite on the same level as that Southern hospitality that you can get in the South. But people here are really cool, really nice. And even though I got that when I was visiting here, moving here, that's definitely been consistent. I've had no trouble making friends here. People are just really welcoming and inviting here. Trust me, when you move here and you're new, people will be like, we should hang out. And you're like, really? And they mean it genuinely, like how cool and easy it is to make friends out here. That's actually a good point. I've talked to quite a few people who have moved here from various places, and they've all made the same comment. And this is just my experience and the people I've talked to. So if you've had the opposite experience, I apologize. It's not perfect by any means. But yeah, people have a really easy time making friends. I was talking to a guy at the gym that he just, whenever he meets people, they always invite him to come over for a game night, to go out for a beer, or to go backpacking. Like my first few months here, it's a lot of geese. My first few months here, I got invited, you know, backpacking, hiking, camping, snowboarding, skiing. Just, it's crazy how inviting people are out here, in my opinion. So yeah, friendlier people, that box is definitely checked. The second thing I was hoping to get out of my move here was to be around nature more. And yes, California has the mountains, but they're not mountains. They're really mostly dead for the most part. And there's not like a whole lot to do out in the mountains, really, in my opinion, at least. Especially the ones near, you know, Los Angeles. So I was hoping to get more nature. You know, as you can see, the amount of parks here in Denver, Colorado is insane. You can't drive a couple blocks without there being a park. And the parks are beautifully, ridiculously clean and well maintained year round. In LA, you don't really go to the parks nor do you want to, and especially don't go there at night because they're dangerous unless you're like at a park in Beverly Hills or something. Pretty much all of the parks here in Denver, and there's a lot of them, so that's probably too broad of a statement, but like really honestly, I haven't been to a park yet that I wouldn't want to be in at night, or that isn't like really clean all the time. And on top of that, the mountains, which you see in the pictures and whatnot, are like 30 minutes away. I can't tell you the amount of times I've done like really unbelievably beautiful hikes that I was starting like 30 to 45 minutes after I walked out my front door. Within 30 to 45 minutes of walking out my front door, I was at the base of a mountain or going up a hike or doing a 14er. It's so easy just to go out and enjoy nature and be in it and feel like you're a million miles away, but you're like 30 to 45 minutes from home, less than that even, depending how close to the mountains you are where you're living. And I'm on the southeast side of Denver. southeast side near Virginia Village. So it's not like I'm at the foothills of the mountains. So for me to be able to be on the east side of Denver is a little bit, and be starting a hike that feels like I'm in Narnia and it's like 45 minutes from home is just so cool. So nature, there's so much of it here. Third thing I was looking for is a cleaner city. Now this is completely subjective and relative. Some people say Denver's really dirty. Once again, just my experience, take it or leave it. Being from LA, if you know LA, it speaks for itself. Denver, to me, is a much, much, much cleaner city. I mean, come on, I don't know what major city you're gonna go to that's sparkling freaking clean, that you can eat off the sidewalk. However, downtown Denver, to me, feels very clean, a whole lot safer than most of Los Angeles. Like the worst parts of Denver are like normal parts of LA. Once again, just totally, my opinion, just whatever. Feels a whole lot cleaner than LA did. Don't know how much more detail I can go into than that, especially the parks. Oh my gosh, the parks here, come on. They're beautiful and clean and they're awesome. Fourth thing I was looking for is community. LA, once again, everyone's experience is different. Once again, I loved LA, I love California. It can be a little cliquey for the most part, and that's not my experience really, but I met a lot of people in LA. I had a great group of friends in LA, but I met a lot of people who moved there who just really felt like people didn't have a sense of community and didn't want to have a sense of community. That was my experience, but like everyone I met in LA says that, or who's been to LA says that, so I guess that must be true, potentially. So what I was looking for out of, my move here in Denver was take it a community. And once again, just my experience, I couldn't believe how quickly I found that moving here, just because it's somewhat like baked into the culture, I feel like, in Denver, to be adventurous, both like going into the mountains and then just meeting new people and being down to hang out with new people. People are just really down to hang out with new people and have them around. Yeah, I can't tell you the amount of stories just from my own experience and from people who have moved here, people I've talked to, that just really were surprised how quickly they found their sense of community. Obviously, if you show up and you're a dick or an asshole, you're probably not gonna find a community. But if you just come here, are a good person, and and make somewhat of an effort to socialize, I really honestly think you will have no problem making friends, finding a community in no time. Next up is traffic. Oh my God, LA is the worst with traffic. 4 or 5, come on. Doesn't matter what time of day, it's gonna be horrible. And once again, subjective and relative. If you're from a small town in Alabama, the traffic here in Denver is gonna be absolutely terrible. If you're from a major city in California, traffic here is probably gonna be a whole lot better. For me, I can get from the peak north side of Denver, like up near Westminster, to the south side in like 45 minutes on a weekday in rush hour. To me, that's not bad. If I can get from peak north to south or vice versa, whatever way you want to go, if the worst of it's going to be 45 minutes, barring a pile up, that's pretty darn good in my opinion. So traffic definitely has a presence here. By all means, yes, it can be frustrating, but in my opinion, is it a huge improvement from LA, at least at this point in time? Absolutely. And the last thing I was hoping for was seasons. Look at this beautiful tree changing colors. Almost winter here, so most of the trees are dead. Fall is pretty much over. But yeah, I wanted seasons, man. I've been in California my whole life. It's usually 70 to 80 degrees on Christmas Day, but I also didn't want to be pummeled in with snow and be living in like blizzards all the time. So it's really cool having a few winters under my belt here. Denver average is about 16 days of snow a year, so like it's really not that bad. What's really, really cool is you'll have a snow day, and it'll look like this the day, a day or 2 or 3 days afterwards, and people are walking around. So the seasons here are awesome. Summer can be really hot. Summer gets very, very hot. Speaking of, something you might learn the hard way is that heat is hotter here in Denver or Colorado because the elevation. I know that sounds really, really silly, but if you compare to sea level, the reason is because the elevation is so high up, oxygen levels are thinner, so UV rays penetrate harder and deeper. So heat literally feels hotter here, and 90 degrees feels like 100 degrees, if not more, in California. People didn't believe me on that, but then my California friends moved here and they're like, holy shit, you're right. So yeah, summer's hot, but doable. And winter is very mild. Yes, and the thing about it also, Colorado's famous for 300 days of sunshine a year. That does not mean 300 days of warmth. A lot of the sunny days are sunny, like today, but I'm wearing layers. It's like, I don't know, 40 degrees, 50 degrees right now. So yeah, came here for seasons. I wanted to see fall. I wanted to see leaves changing colors. And whew, my God, is it beautiful here in the fall time, winter time. It's just so beautiful. And yeah, the snow is totally doable. At least the winters I've had here so far, they're not crazy. And average is about 16 days of snow a year. Guys, well guys, as promised, those are the reasons I moved from California to Denver, Colorado. As you can probably tell, I'm very happy with my move here. I love it here. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to reach out. As I mentioned, yes, I'm a local Denver realtor, so I'd love to hear from you whether you're thinking about buying a home or not. I am more than happy to answer any questions that you have. As I've mentioned, I've had a good chunk of you just reach out, asking questions at communities and being like, hey, I hope you don't mind. I'm not thinking of buying anything. I have questions. Like, yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. My contact information is in the description below. And if you do want to buy or sell something, that's cool too. More than happy to help. I already helped quite a few of you guys already buy and sell, which has been super freaking cool to get to know you guys. Yeah, from meeting guys on YouTube. All right, guys, feel free to check me out on Instagram and TikTok. I'm crazy, super active on those platforms as well. And if you liked the video, please hit that like and subscribe button because it does your boy a huge solid. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one. And you know what? I hope to see you in Denver soon.